Hi, I'm Gabrielle Brickey, aka Artwork by Gabrielle, and I'm really excited to draw with you today. So, grab your favorite drawing tools and let's get started. So today I want to play around with some OHUHU markers. I have a new set here of skin tone markers, 36 colors, and there's a really nice range too, so I'm excited to try these out. I love that OHUHU has this because for portrait artists or character artists like me, this is just the perfect thing that we need in our tool belt. So let me get started here. I've got R29 pear color, and I'm just going to use that for the base of her skin. I'm just kind of going around the edges here, like where the line art is. And now I'm just going to do some little squiggles here to fill in her face. And when I'm doing my big patches of color, I'll do little like tight elliptical shapes and kind of go and overlap over my last mark as I move through. And that just helps me get a nice smooth base down. And now I'm just going around these areas where the hair touches. Here under the nose, just to darken that up a little bit. And now I've got Y145 Buttercup Yellow. I don't know if it's supposed to be Buttercup, but it's called Buttercup Yellow. And I'm just going to fill in her bangs here. And I'm just stroking kind of in the direction I feel like the hair would flow. If you wanted to, though, you could fill in the hair the same way like I did with the skin. But right now, I want to kind of get those strokes that start kind of thick and end kind of more thin and wispy. So that's why I'm doing more like strokes. I just like to outline around. And then I do these kind of long flowing strokes. Just thinking about the way the hair would bend. I think it would be a little bit darker around here since she has this kind of like headband thing on. Going around these little finer details here. With your pen or with your marker, you can angle it so that if you use just the tip of your marker, you're going to get a more precise mark. Whereas if you put it down on the belly of it, you're going to get a nice thicker stroke and be able to fill in more. So always keep that in mind, kind of the angle at which you're holding the marker. All right, now I'm just going to fill in this side over here with the hair, just a simple little shape over here. These markers are so fun. They're just so smooth. I just love how easy they are to use. Now I'm going to try R21 on the lips, and this one is called Fruit Pink. Okay, I think what I want to do instead, I think I'm going to have to grab from a different set that I have. So this is R120. And it's called Light Prawn. And this is actually from their Sweetness and Blossoming set, and I think that just adds a nice little pop of color that I think her lips need. I think that other color was a bit too neutral. Okay, now I have Y230 for the eyes. It's called Deep Cream. And I'm just going to use that for these feathers too. Just nice and simple color palette for this one. Use it back here too. And you know what? I'll just put it on these little beads too. I can pop them out later with some white gel pen. So I actually sketched this little character originally in my class Character Illustration, Drawing Female Portraits in Procreate. So if you have any interest at all in learning how to sketch your own characters, I'd love to see you in one of my classes, so I'll put that link in the description if you want to check that out. So now I'm going to grab my Promatic MC5 pencil, and this is a 2mm lead that you put in here. It's just the pink lead by Pentel. And I really like this pencil just to add some little rosiness to the cheeks and on the nose. All my characters, I love just that little touch of adding some color to their cheeks and nose. So just using that little pink pencil here to do that. Let me try it down here too. Don't really love that, so I'm gonna have to go back and try and fix that. It just doesn't jive with the rest of the colors I already have up on here, so I'm gonna adjust that to a different color, I think. All right, let me grab Y230, and I'm just gonna add some depth around the eyes here. Just deepen up some of the makeup. And now I'm gonna grab my Signo white gel pen and just add a couple little sparkly highlights. So here on the little beads, I'm gonna add a couple highlights here. And I love white gel pens. They're just such great tools to have for so many different projects. All right, now I think to fix that shirt, I'm gonna use Y230, so yeah, I think that looks better. It kind of just flows with the color harmony a lot better. And I think what she needs is just sort of an element to kind of frame her in. So I'm thinking a circle around her head would do nicely for that. So I'm going to use that same color, Y230, and just kind of mime doing a circle, and then there we go. So it's not perfect, but we can fix it up. Let me try one more time. There we go. You kind of have to think all the way through the circle and imagine how it would connect to the other side. That's what helps me. And then I'm just going to color this in, kind of section by section here. And then I'm just going to go around here, around her features, and make sure I get tight up to the edge, and then go in with those kind of elliptical, tight squiggle shapes. And I'm not working super fast here, I'm not working super slow. It's just kind of a nice even pace to get all this covered before it dries, or, you know, not going so fast that it goes streaky, but not going so slowly that it dries up before I can make it a nice even patch of color. And this is definitely like a more neutral, kind of subdued color palette than I would normally grab for. But I like it. It's kind of got this autumn sort of feel, sort of earthy colors. I mean, I'm enjoying that. Normally I grab for pastel colors right away. I love doing pink hair and teal hair and all that stuff, but it's nice to do some more natural colors every once in a while. And like I said, I think this skin tone set is really nice. It has a huge range of colors. What I would like is, I did have to grab for that little pink color for the lips, but that was easy enough. But I love having this set, and I'm so glad that I have it as a portrait artist, character artist. Okay, now what I think I'm going to do is grab my white gel pen again and just kind of outline her to make her pop and come forward a little bit from that circle background that I just put up. So I'm just going to use the white gel pen and sort of slowly line around the edges here. And sometimes with white gel pens, maybe you've experienced this too, but sometimes it takes a little bit to get the ink to flow out. So just be patient with it and kind of work in small strokes, connecting them as evenly as you can. I feel like sometimes this technique with outlining with the white gel pen can work really well, and sometimes it just doesn't look quite right, but more often than not, I think it's a fun little touch to add to these illustrations. Alright, so I'm going to grab my Promatic MC5 here and put the blue in instead. This pencil's kind of funny. It's got like this like claw hand that grabs this big lead. Alright, I'm just going to try and tighten up the top of her head here. All right, I'm going to add a couple little subtle detail strokes to the hair here. Just outline the cast shadow here a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to grab R29 Pear Color again, and on the neck here, I'm just going to deepen up that cast shadow, make it a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to use that same color to add a couple little freckles. I love freckles. I think they're so cute. So sometimes I like to add that as a little final touch. And I'm just using the very tip of my marker to do that. You could do it with like a colored pencil too if you wanted. So if you're a little scared to go in with the marker, but I feel like the marker works pretty well. And especially when it's the same color that you already used for the base of the skin, it's a little less intimidating. All right. This one's really simple, short and sweet, but I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them down below. Until next time, happy creating!